An open letter to Democrats in 2008 to Chairman Dean, Democratic candidates for national office, and Democrats at large. Leaders of the present day are focused on schemes of rampant nationalism and preemptive war. This bankrupt policy is accelerating the rape of the earth for economic gain, a clash of new imperialisms, and movement towards nuclear obliteration. We have made a shambles of the United Nations, forsaken our free world friends in NATO, and ignored enormous thermonuclear and environmental threats. Compare what we are doing today with the courageous approach of John F. Kennedy and his New Frontier. Burdened with the tensions of the Cold War and plagued with the residue from the McCarthy era, JFK and the Democrats bravely published the following plank in the Democratic platform of 1960. To all our fellow members of the United Nations, we shall strengthen our commitments to this, our great continuing institution, for conciliation and growth of a world community. Through the machinery of the United Nations, we shall work for disarmament, the establishment of an international police force, the strengthening of the World Court, and the establishment of world law. John F. Kennedy devoted much of his brief presidency speaking about the need to implement these bold proposals. He believed in the building of a world security system capable of controlling nuclear weapons and curbing environmental deterioration. I am one of the proud keepers of that Kennedy legacy. Let's view my website, www.thekennedytreasure.net. Click the Kennedy Treasure link and you will find the image of a DVD labeled John F. Kennedy's Lost Pathway to Peace, narrated by Robert Vaughn. I wrote and produced this half-hour television documentary. Millions viewed it in 1985 and 1986 on TBS, the Superstation. It aired on the 69th and 70th anniversaries of JFK's birth. It also aired on KCET Los Angeles and a few other PBS affiliates. 15 years later, I wrote and produced a sequel titled John F. Kennedy, Spokesman for the New Century. Both of these DVDs document Kennedy's numerous calls for a grand and global alliance, the development of the United Nations into a genuine world security system, and the development of world law. Both programs also identify other prominent advocates of strengthening of the United Nations. Among them were President Harry S. Truman, Albert Einstein, Chief Justice Earl Warren, President Dwight D. Eisenhower, father of the H-bomb, Dr. Edward Teller, Norman Cousins, editor of Saturday Review, and historian Arnold Toynbee. President George Herbert Walker Bush responded to Iraqi aggression against Kuwait by organizing the whole world. Characterizing his approach as the New World Order, Bush brought Arabs and Jews, capitalists and communists, and every other unlikely combination together to contain Saddam Hussein. Operating under the authority of unanimous Security Council resolutions, Operation Desert Storm was a magnificent example of the use of the United Nations to bring swift resolution to blatant aggression and other international crises. My lifelong involvement in the study of international issues is reflected in the publication of a few significant books. Information about President John F. Kennedy, a grand and global alliance, the summons to world peace through world law, can be accessed on my website. The scholarship of this work seems to have been validated not only because it is listed in 103 libraries, the majority of which are major universities, colleges, and law schools, but also because it is included in the personal library of Linus Pauling, recipient of 2 Nobel Prizes. It now resides with Pauling's personal books in special collections at the Oregon State University Library. The sequel to this book is President John F. Kennedy's Grand and Global Alliance, World Order for the New Century. The scholarship for this volume is validated with back cover endorsements by famous scholars and a Nobel laureate. In these works and more, I have documented the fact that John F. Kennedy and others realized that it will take a worldwide security system if we expect to survive. Kennedy not only pled for the development of world peace through world law, but also for a worldwide program of conservation. I have dealt with this issue quite extensively in the Survival Hot List, Conquering the 7 Deadly Trends. In 2008, we have a brief opportunity to internationally control conditions that produce acid rain, destruction of rainforests, destruction of ozone, global warming, and the spread of nuclear weapons. Anything short of a world security system capable of enforcing world law is just tinkering. If we just tinker with these enormous problems, there is no hope. Ominous trends are underway. Are there Democrats among us who will speak as boldly as JFK once did about the need to control nuclear weapons and environmental deterioration internationally? Let's revive the new frontier and hold John F. Kennedy as a model for the Democratic candidates in the campaign of 2008. Sincerely, Joseph A. Bagnall, Oceanside, California.